System warning. We are not medical professionals or licensed counselors. The following saga explores the deconstruction of accepted reality. We provide the keys, but we are not responsible for which doors you choose to open. Once the mechanism is exposed, it cannot be unseen. You are the master of your own mind. You have been warned. He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster, and if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gaze into you.
Now, this is the great human predicament, the development of self-consciousness, the development of the possibility of reflecting upon one's own knowledge. And this is simultaneously a blessing. So then, when you die, you're not going to have to put up with everlasting non-existence, because that's not an experience. A lot of people are afraid that when they die, they're going to be locked up in a dark room forever. Try and imagine what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up. Think about that. Children think about it. It's one of the great wonders of life. What will it be like to go to sleep and never wake up? And if you think long enough about that, something will happen to you. That it'll pose the next question to you. What was it like to wake up after having never gone to sleep? That was when you were born. That was when you were born. That was when you were born.
Welcome back to Unbound and Out of Place. If you are here, it means you survived the first plunge. To the new listeners joining us today, I'd like to say welcome back. If you're still here, it means you survived the first plunge. And to the new listeners joining us today, I'd like to say that I see you've decided to drop straight into the deep end here in episode 2. You know, bypassing the foundation entirely. Congratulations. That's a bold move. See, most prefer a floor to stand on before they start looking at the ceiling. But not you. See, you've chosen to jump in blindly, provided you can keep pace. Which, there's nothing wrong with that, because there's no wrong way to find us or to come across this. There's no wrong way to find us, and there's no wrong way to join. Even if you did take the roundabout fucking way. We won't name you. We won't call you by name, so don't you worry. You really shouldn't worry, because that means you're exactly where you need to be. Believe it or not. See, I'd like to see if you can handle the engine of manifestation without the actual manual. You little skipper, you. Anyways, on a little quick recap here, we looked into the void of mentalism and realized that the solid ground beneath our feet is just a mental projection of the all. And we established that the universe is a dream. Believe it or not, you're not a character in it who just woke up to the fact that, they're dreaming. Which leads us to say that we need to have to. So now that we woke up to the fact that we're dreaming, we do what any human does. We keep diving. We keep going further out and further in. Now we've got to go deeper, like I said. Now that you woke up from the dream, and now that you found out that you're the character in it who just woke up to the fact that they are actually indeed dreaming, now we got there, now we have to go a little bit deeper. That's what she said. I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. So we have to understand the structure of the dream. If the universe is a mental construct, that would mean it isn't a chaotic mess of random thoughts. In fact, it would mean that it has a framework. It has geometry. To some of you nerds, it has code. And that code is written in a language of what I like to call correspondence. And that puts us right in the second installment of Matter in My Mind. I keep saying it thinking I'm saying matter in my mind, but it says matter and my mind. Not a good combination of words, I don't think. But nonetheless, the second great principle of Hermeticism is the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. You've heard that many a times, I'm probably sure of. Hell, they've made a movie called As Above, So Below. Granted, it has not a lot to do with the correspondence, but it kind of does. Yeah. It's whatever. But it is indeed the most famous line probably in all of occult literature. And that's just based off of who you ask. And I'd like to wager that most people who have seen this phrase or even said this phrase have no idea actually what it means, what it really means. Well, yeah, of course you can say as above is so below. The tree looks as the roots. But it's like saying that, what's a good example? It's like saying that you got a construction worker that does, or no, sorry, it's like having a foreman saying, I don't know how that goes together or how that's supposed to be put together. Or it's like people who do plumbing, but they don't understand the physics behind it. People do HVAC and they don't understand the physics behind it. They just know the numbers, they know what to memorize, they know what one plane or one side of the equation. They just know how to physically detect or physically figure it out. Because you can know how to do something but not understand why it's done. So you can know how to do a task, but you might not know what that task is done, what the purpose of that task is. It's like saying a pipe fitter doesn't know how to do plumbing. Or a sheet metal guy doesn't know how to do HVAC. It's redundant. Granted, it's not their fault if it's all they do is just hang ductwork. Because it doesn't quite get into the entirety of the system. But we kind of strayed a little bit. But as you know, it goes as above, so below, or as below, so above. Sounds fairly poetic, right? That's probably why it's so famous, because it's catchy. It's like, yeah. I don't sound too thrilled about it myself, do I? Obviously, it sounds like something you'd see on the yoga studio wall or something, or on Instagram caption. Regardless of where you've seen it, in the Hermetic tradition, it obviously isn't poetry. Obviously, we've been building up to tell you exactly what it is. The principle of correspondence tells us that there is a harmony, an agreement, and a precise correspondence between the several planes of manifestation, life, and being. I'd say it tells us that the laws that govern the macrocosm, the universe, the stars, the galaxies, they're all the exact same laws that govern the microcosm, which is the atom, the cell, and the human mind. Honestly, this is a key that unlocks the door to the unknown. Because if this principle is, and we are going to operate on the premise that it is absolute law, then you don't need to travel to the edge of the universe to understand the cosmos. You don't have to fucking shrink yourself down to the size of a quark to understand quantum mechanics. All you got to do is you just need to look at yourself. You are the map. You are the laboratory. Everything that exists out there exists in here, in you. The universe is a fractal, you see, and we are all a complete self-contained iteration of that whole. Because we are not outside of the universe, we are inside and of the universe. We can only project ourselves to perceive it outside. Here's another side of it, okay? Think of it as like the holographic universe. We're going to get a little unhinged for a second, so bear with me. But I want you to visualize a hologram. Okay, you got it in your head? If you take a holographic plate, let's say, make it an image of an apple, okay? And I want you to smash it into 1,000 pieces. You don't get pieces of the apple. You don't get jagged little shards that are just a stem or just a peel. If you pick up the tiniest shard of that glass and shine a laser through it, you will see the entire atom. It might be a little fuzzier, a little less resolved, but the whole image is going to be there. It's going to be contained in every single fragment. That is the nature of our reality. So the principle of correspondence, it states that the information of the whole is contained in the part. The above is encoded in the below. And this is why the ancients were obsessed with the idea of the microcosm, or man, and the macrocosm, the universe. I'd say they didn't see a separation. Instead, they saw their reflection. Those who know about what shadow work is and all that, you have an idea. Think about the structure of an atom. Alan Watts earlier in this in the beginning, I had a couple clips that sound just like Alan Watts. Well, he talks about the same thing I'm telling you, and that's the structure of an atom. I've said it for many years. Ever since I figured I learned what it was, or what an atom was, and what matter was. I've kind of always known it since then. Hell, probably I might have even had a feeling or instinct before then. I don't know. But you got your atom, okay? You have a nucleus, obviously, in the center. It's dense and heavy. You have electrons orbiting around the nucleus in vast empty space. It's a solar system. The nucleus is the sun. The electrons are the planets. Electrons is electricity, is energy. Energy is magnetism. It's all related. Color is a wave as much as a sound is. What you see is what you hear. The sensations, everything reality has to give you. All the same. That's why it's all a thought. That's why it's all the all. I'm crazy saying it, and that's probably why I got put into the occult side of things, huh? Occult doesn't mean evil or bad. Occult just means not normal, not the norm, not the more secretive. So, you know that the laws that keep the electron in orbit are the same laws that keep the Earth in orbit around the sun. Gravity and electromagnetism are just different octaves of the same force. The pattern repeats. Now scale it up. Our solar system, it's orbiting the center of the galaxy. The galaxy is orbiting within a cluster. Now scale it down. You look at your own body. You're made of cells. Each cell has a nucleus. Each cell functions like a tiny city with its own power plant. Your mitochondria, or like its own library, DNA, its own waste management system. And where do you live? In a city? Which functions exactly like a cell. It has a power grid, a library, a waste management system. The pattern is inescapable. This is how everything is related. Why does this matter? Why am I spending time talking about atoms and solar systems when you have rent to pay? Because if you understand the pattern, really understand the pattern, like look at it, analyze it, and just sit there with it, then you can predict the outcome. It's no different than predicting the weather. Worst case scenario, you're fucking 50% wrong. Flip the fucking coin. Okay, pendulum does swing the other way, which we'll get into later, but that's to deal with another principle. I don't want to spoil it, but if you understand the pattern, you stop being a victim of chaos, and you start becoming a master of order, a master of your own destiny. Yeah, we'll say it that. Master of your own life. Take back control. You want to know what is happening in your life, which is the below? Look at your mind, which is the above. If you want to know the nature of God, or the all, which is the above, look at the nature of your own consciousness. That's the below. There are no secrets. Everything is hidden in plain sight. The universe is screaming the answers at you, but you're looking for them in a book instead of looking at the mirror. This is why meditation is so widely practiced, among other reasons. So, I'd like to change direction a little bit and talk about the mirror of the mind, since we brought up the mirror, or we keep talking about a mirror. Let's bring this down to the gritty, practical level, all right? So part of that phrase with as above, so below, it also goes, or is read also, or it's also paired with the second helping of that verse, and it goes, as within, so without. This is the aspect of correspondence that people struggle with the most, I think. Because it implies that your external world, your job, your relationships, your bank account, your health, it's a direct reflection of your internal state. You ever thought about something so hard that you're like, please don't happen, you know, something really dreadful, and then all of a sudden, why did this fucking happen to me? Oh my gosh, ah. Ding, 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 as above, so below. The mirror. No matter how I decide to phrase it when I say as within, so without, the outside or the inside, the up or the down, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing, just said in a different way. Because when you look in a physical mirror and you see that your face is dirty, you're not gonna just wash the fucking mirror, silly goose. You're gonna wash your fucking face. And then I'm gonna wash my mouth out for cursing so much. But you see, in life, we're constantly scrubbing the mirror, okay? We hate our job, so we try to change the job, scrubbing the mirror, without actually changing the mindset that attracted the job in the first place. Or another one is, we have toxic relationships, so we break up and find a new partner, scrubbing the mirror. And only just to find out that the new partner is exactly the same person with a different face. And another one, just for shits and giggles, is we feel broke, so we chase money. Again, scrubbing the fucking mirror. But you see, the money slips. It slips through your fingers because your internal setting is calibrated to lack. I'll say that correspondence says, stop touching the goddamn mirror. Your external reality is nothing more than a printout of your internal program. It's data, it's a wave, it's the universe waving at you, yoo-hoo, or as Alan Watts likes to say. He's a great speaker, and I really do recommend his stuff. Another one I really recommend is kind of get you thinking in the same kind of occultish type of, if you ever get a chance, go check out Alan Watts. That's all I gotta say. And if that's not good enough, then another one to get you out of your current thought process or like way of thinking, go check out Pursuit of Wonder. That's a good one. A lot of good information in that. You can find it on YouTube. Spotify has like a playlist, I think, but not very big. It's not of all of them. I haven't looked at it for a minute, but yeah, go check them out. It's good stuff. Good stuff. It really makes you think about everything. That's what we're here to do, right? Keep tearing the veil down and seeing what's behind there. You know, if your car breaks down 3 times in a week, believe it or not, that's not bad luck, guy. That is correspondence. The mechanical breakdown in your physical world, it corresponds to a mechanical breakdown in your mental world. Are you ignoring your own maintenance, Mr. Whomever you are? Are you driving yourself too hard? Are you racing it down the fucking street? Which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I don't plan to go out. I don't plan to have my light go out in a well-preserved manner. I'm gonna get my money's worth out of this fucking machine that I'm in. Or this vehicle that I run or drive. But seriously, are you ignoring the warning lights in your own psyche? Shadow work, look into it. People can't believe in this sort of way of thinking because it sounds too mystically, it sounds too, it almost sounds too simple and too good to be true. Because it is simple and it is good to be true. But it's so difficult. Like fighting with the Mandela effect, man. You kind of wonder, like, was that there or was it not? Some people say it is, some people say not. And you just, that's basically what you're doing. The only thing that stops you is that voice in your head, that doubt. Believe it or not, I'd say that the universe is talking to us through things. It's like we are the cause and effect. We're playing it out, the beginning and the end, the start and the finish, the go and the stop, the up and the down, the left and the right. Looking at it like this, I'd say it's like the alien observer perspective. See, you have to detach. You have to walk through your life like a detective at a crime scene. You can do it as dramatically as you want to, believe it or not. My dear Watson, look at this messy desk. What does this correspond to in my mind? Look at this argument I just had with my brother. What conflict within myself is this reflecting? Look at the sudden financial windfall. What shift in my energy allowed this to manifest? The moment you start living like this, life stops being some random series of events and starts being a conversation, a relationship with the universe. Because the universe becomes a feedback loop, like it always has. And here's the scary part. You can't lie to a mirror. You can lie to your friends, you can lie to your therapist, you can even fucking lie to yourself in your own head and believe it. But you cannot lie to the law of correspondence. If you claim to be a person of peace, but your life is a war zone, the mirror says that's false. Feeling is the secret. Neville Goddard, he's another good one. It took a minute for me to get used to him because he was really, at first it seemed like he was really Bible-y, like he was really biblical, you know, like he was, everything he talked about was about the Bible, and it kind of got a little annoying because it sounded like he was basically trying to preach, but the more I listened, the more I started to understand that, no, he's explaining the Bible as it probably should have been interpreted. And that was not as a literal story, but a figurative story. Sure, events might have partially been true throughout the whole thing, but same thing with the Greek myths. I'm sure there was a man that did something crazy that thought a fucking animal looked like a beast, and in his tall tales, you know, how he told the story is he escalated it like crazy to make himself sound cool. I don't know, I wasn't there, but I'm just only assuming. So if you claim to be a generous person, but you're constantly losing things, guess what the mirror says? It says you're holding on too tight. The fruit tells you about the roots. By their fruits ye shall know them. That's a Hermetic statement. That's probably in the Bible too. The visible fruit corresponds to the invisible root. So now we can go into some astrology. We have to talk about astrology. And I know, as soon as I say that word, half of you roll your fucking eyes. You think of newspaper horoscopes and vague personality tests. That's not astrology. That is a toy version they gave the children to play with so they wouldn't find the real tool. The real astrology is not about predicting the future. It's about reading the clock. Imagine a giant clock on the wall, all right? The big hand moves, right? Just like any other clock. If you're not from the new age and all you have is digital. I'm sure everybody knows what a fucking analog clock is. If not, figure it out. But obviously after the big hand moves, the little hand moves. When the clock says 12 p.m., you know it's time for lunch. I'm going off of not like basically an average. Like most people eat lunch at noon. That's why it's coined lunchtime. This is the middle of the day, whatever. I don't give a fuck about your eating schedule. Just as long as you're eating. But anyways, you know that when it says 12, you know it's time for lunch, right? So the clock didn't cause you to eat lunch, right? The clock just told you, hey, it's time to eat lunch, because that's what you believed. The clock corresponds to the time of eating, that's it. And the planets, if you look at an astrology term, like the planets are the hands of the universal clock. The man Hermes Trismegistus himself is often called the father of astrology. Why? Because it's said that he understood that the movements of the massive bodies in the solar system, which was the macrocosm, correspond to the movements of the energies within the human soul, which is the microcosm. So you got Mars you've heard used in astrology or horoscopes or whatever, it isn't just a red rock floating in space, right? It's the external correspondence of the archetype of war, aggression, drive, and action. So you have a Mars inside of you. It's your adrenaline. It's your fight response. There's Venus, you know. Venus isn't just a gas cloud. It is the external correspondence of love, of harmony, of attraction, and beauty. Allegedly. So you have a Venus inside of you. It's your dopamine. It's your oxytocin. And then there's like another one like Saturn. It corresponds to limitation, structure, discipline, and time. It's the walls of your reality. You can look at it like it's the walls of your reality. So when we say that Saturn is in retrograde, we're not saying a planet is doing magic on you. Some spooky action, some spooky knowledge. We are actually saying that the cosmic clock has shifted to a phase of reviewing limitation. Only because, as above, so below. That shift is happening simultaneously. It's happening in your own psyche. So you feel restricted, you feel heavy, you feel like your plans are stalling. You can blame the planet if you want, but the planet is just the mirror. You can throw and break the controller, but you're just only hurting your ability to be able to play the game again. You see, the limitation is happening within you, right? That's what I've been pointing at this entire time, as I'm pointing at myself. See, the universe is just showing you the schedule. If you were always right, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Ideally. But this removes that superstition. It makes it mechanical. It's clockwork. If you know the schedule, you don't panic when the bell rings. If you know it's winter in the cosmic cycle, you don't try to plant a fucking garden. Clearly. You wait. You conserve your energy. You align your below with the above. This is what the alchemists meant by operation of the sun and moon. They are aligning their internal work with the external cycles to minimize friction. Zero friction. That's one of our directives. You create a zero friction by swimming with the current of the cosmos, not against it. Again, this brings me back to, this is why meditation is practiced and used. Correspondence gives you the map of the current. It tells you the form of the wave. And then there's the vertical axis, right? We've talked about the mirror, the inside and outside, the clock, the planets, the psyche. Now let's get into the vertical axis. So as above, so below implies a hierarchy, believe it or not. Just like a beginning and end, you know, start or a first, second, third, hierarchy. That's what it implies in its words. And what it implies is that there's three planes to reality or to existence, okay? You have the physical plane, the mental plane, and the spiritual plane. This is the Holy Trinity. Ding, ding, ding. In all religions, they're always talking about a number 3. 369. Damn, she's fine. No. But there's 3 planes of existence: the physical, mental, and spiritual. And we know that correspondence, or we'll find that correspondence at locations. They are enmeshed. They occupy the same space, just at different rates of vibration, which we will get to in the next episode. But more importantly, it tells us that a change on one plane must correspond to a change on the other. That is the secret of magic. Dun, dun, dun. I mean that with ending with a K. If you want to change something on the physical plane, the below, let's say you want to change your financial situation. You have to live within the desire as if it's been fulfilled. Again, look up Neville Goddard and read the short book called Feeling is the Secret. Good book. But you often can't do it just by moving physical objects around. Sometimes, very, very seldomly, sometimes that can happen. That can be what you gotta do and it works. But what I'm talking about is you have to go above. You have to go to the mental plane. You create the change in the mind. Mentalism. You build the structure there. And by the law of correspondence, the physical plane must rearrange itself to match the new mental blueprint, right? It's like a shadow. The physical world is the shadow cast by the mental world. You can't change the shape of the shadow by grabbing the shadow and choking it out like Homer Simpson and Bart. No, you can't grab the shadow on the pavement. Just like you can't bite your own teeth. Or touch the tip of your finger with the tip of the same finger. You have to move the object casting it. This is why hustle culture burns people out. They are trying to move the shadow. They are working 18 hours a day on the physical plane, and that's the below, obviously, but their internal correspondence, the above, is still set to failure, or imposter syndrome. So they keep working and work, and the shadow doesn't change. The hermeticists, they work on the vertical axis. They analyze the physical, the below, which would be my life is chaotic, then they trace it to the mental, which is above. And that's what chaotic thoughts am I entertaining? Then you go to transmute the mental. And that's like saying, change the thought pattern from chaos to order. Which then brings you to watch the physical correspond. The external chaos subsides. It feels like magic. It really does. Like deja vu or something cool. Butterflies or like little hairs on your neck standing up. Whatever it might be. Whatever perks you up. It feels like a cheat code sometimes. Because it is. But it's just mechanics. It's the physics of the vertical dimension. Then you got your, oh, everybody loves these topics. The angel and the demon, right? There's the darker side to this too, or let's call it the warning label. Correspondence works both ways, as above, so below, but also as below, so above. Clearly. So your actions on the physical plane affect your mental and spiritual state, right? Which means you cannot live like a beast and expect to think like a god. Or can you? If you fill your body with trash, your mind will become trash. I'm sure we all know this. Or maybe not. I shouldn't assume that. But if you surround yourself with low vibrational people, chaotic environments, and ugliness in the physical world, it's gonna seep upward and corrupt your mental state. Maybe you might not notice it. Which, hey, that's you. That's all you, boo. This is why the ancient orders were so strict about diet, cleanliness, and environment. Not just because of the multitudes of diseases and all that and their inability to cure or treat that, But they weren't just being prudes, right? They understood that a messy room corresponds to a messy mind. They understood that you can induce a spiritual state just by controlling the physical correspondence. Ritual is based on this. Why do people light candles, burn incense, wear robes when they pray or meditate? Because they're setting the below to correspond to the state that they want to achieve in the above. They are creating a physical environment that mirrors the spiritual environment they want to enter. Now we tied it all together. Buddhists, monks, Zen, all of it. It's all tied together. Just spoken of in a different manner. Referred to in just a different tone. But I'm helping you hack the link. You see, remember that you connect to what you resonate with, what you feel. If you believe it, without doubt, there it is. If your mind is full of hatred, greed, and fear, you are creating a correspondence with the lower planes of existence. You are dialing the cosmic radio to the hell frequency. And by the law of correspondence, you will attract entities, situations, and energies that probably you'd label as matching with the frequency. This is where the concept of demons come from, in the psychological sense. You feed them. You invite them in by creating a home for them in your mind. Like attracts like. Conversely, if you cultivate love, truth, and courage, you create a correspondence with the higher planes. And I'm not saying like, let's all go be lovey-dovey, hippie fucking bullshit and do drugs and all that. Wanna do acid? No, I'm just kidding. Where am I? But obviously you attract angels, if that's what you want to call them. You get the help. You get lucky. It's not favoritism, it's tuning. So, the master of the map. What is it? How do we use it? How do we walk out of here and apply the principle of correspondence to a Tuesday afternoon? Well, first you gotta teach yourself how to recognize patterns. Something that kind of like seems off to you, it is. It's off because the pattern broke. What you're used to broke. There's something different. There's a pattern. You just have to be able to recall. You need to stop looking at events in isolation. Look for the rhyme. Look for the repetition. Why do I always get sick when I visit my parents? Why does my computer always crash when I'm working on this specific project? Why do I see the number 33 everywhere? It's 23 for me, but nothing is random. It's all code. It's all code. It's all the matrix. We're all in a simulation. Your mind simulation. Read the code. Learn the code. Curate your correspondences. Take a hard look at your environment. Does your bedroom look like the sanctuary of a master or the den of a slob? Does your phone screen, which is your digital window, show you inspiration or does it show you fear and envy? Those are just examples. But fix the below to fix the above. Clean your room to clean your mind. Dress with dignity to feel dignity. Fake it till you make it works because the physical act pulls the mental state down with it. The universal empathy is the next step. Correspondence destroys the illusion of otherness. When you look at a criminal, a saint, a beggar, or a king, realize that you are looking at a different aspect of yourself. a different archetype, a different part of the mirror, different perspective of the mirror, different angle. Because a mirror will show you all different kinds of things depending on which way you're looking at it. The potential for all of them exists inside of you. I am that. This isn't just hippie love and light. It's tactical. If you judge it, you bind yourself to it. If you understand it, you transcend it. And then you get to a fractal pause, right? So let's say when you feel overwhelmed by the bigness of the world with politics, war, climate change, zoom in. Focus on the microcosm. You can't fix the world. That's the macrocosm. Directly, anyways. But you can fix your household. You can fix your mind. And because the fractal is connected, when you heal the part, you contribute to the healing of the whole. You become the antibody, the anti-hero, in the bloodstream of God. I giggled a little bit on that one because it's like, that's the best way people can really relate to it, is just by calling it God. But it's the all. God implies that there's a never-ending cycle. The all implies that it's complete. You'll find that the conclusion to all of this, you could call it the infinity mirror, let's say, the infinity gauntlet. We're standing in a hall of mirrors, right? Everywhere you look, up at the stars, down at the atoms, out at the world, in at the soul, you see the same reflection. It can be maddening. It can make you feel trapped. But it is also the ultimate liberation. Because if the pattern is the same everywhere, then you never have to get lost. You never have to be lost. You always have a compass, and the compass is you. If you are lost in the woods of life, sit down and look at your own hand. Look at your own breath. Listen to your own breath. The rhythm of your breath is the rhythm of the tides. The structure of your hand is the structure of the cosmos. You are the universe experiencing itself. As above, so below. You are not in the universe. You are the universe. You are the center. And that means you have the power of the universe, as cliche as that might sound, or as, some people would like to say cringe as that sounds. Locked away, hidden in the basement, covered in the dust of disbelief, that's where it lives, your shadow. Correspondence gives you the keys to let it out. Let them free. It's time to integrate that shadow. Because next time, we're changing and moving on. We're adding to this recipe of delight, manifestation. Next time, we're going to be turning up the heat. That's right. We're going to talk about vibration. We're going to talk about why nothing rests and everything moves, and how you can change your reality by changing your frequency. Sound doable? Sound fun? Think about everything that we've went over and discussed, and apply it or don't. Just know that the keys are here for your disposal. Do with it as you please. Just know that you've been warned. And while you're at it, until next week, look in the mirror. Don't flinch. See the correspondence. See the as above. See the so below. See it as within and see it as without. You heard me. I'm out. Peace. I can't do that. That's not me. Toodles, y'all. See ya. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in.